Welcome back to this African Perspective. Thank you for stopping by. Okay, the videos we're going to be checking out today is just some rant about the rent prices and how expensive the rent is. We know we've always been saying this. We've been saying it for the past few years now. The rent is too damn high, and how majority of these landlords are actually very greedy and just keep racking up the price of rent. Every time people have to renew their lease, it's always something else. Like, it's always a high price. Wherever you go, it's like everybody collectively, the whole landlords just came together and they're like, hey, we're just gonna rack up the price without adding any new amenities to the place. But anyways, guys, we're going to be checking out this video and see what people actually think about it, and just some rants about it, because that's the way we can vent it out. I mean, we wish that it could be something that would be done to help with the issue. Before we get right into this video, I want to give a big shout out to Timmy. Timmy sent me a $20 super thanks, guys. Like, really, I appreciate you so much. You're so sweet for this. Make sure you please click the like button. Liking this video helps with the algorithm, and I appreciate that so much. Let's get right into it.
I paid $2,000 a month for a 1-bedroom, 750 square foot apartment, and I posted an apartment tour a couple days ago, and I am floored by the amount of comments saying that that is a good deal and I should be really happy about that. No. In what world is $2,000 a month, $24,000 a year for a 750 square foot apartment ever a good deal? I don't understand that. That just proves that we are living in a dystopian world where rent prices are insanely out of control. In what world would 750 square feet be $2,000 a month? I have absolutely no idea. That is just not okay. That is 1 month's pay for me. That is my whole entire monthly paycheck for rent. Luckily, I don't have to pay it by myself, because how in the world is somebody supposed to ever live on their own anymore when you have to make 3 times the rent, and rent is insanely expensive? Nobody can afford that. Nobody can get approved for that. For my little tiny crappy apartment, you'd have to make $72,000 a year to be approved on your own, without a cosigner or a roommate or anybody else. How is that ever supposed to happen? It's not. So no, it's not a good deal. I will never think that that is a good deal.
Remember when apartment complexes used to have to tell you why they was raising the rent? Yeah, they used to have to tell you why. They couldn't just raise it because they felt like it with no explanation. I remember my mother would get a letter to what they were changing it to and the reason for the change. Now they just send you a random email like, hey, get ready to adjust your budget. Shit about to get different. Apartments was always supposed to be a stepping stone to a house. That's what you did before you got a house, so you can save up. It's supposed to be the cheaper alternative to a house. Buying groceries is supposed to be the cheaper alternative to eating out. Now you can't even tell the difference. You can't tell where you saving. You like, hold on, my rent is more than my mama's mortgage. Hold on, we spent the same amount of money on groceries this month as we did last month when we was eating out every day. We always want to go down there and have a meeting with the people in the office like they changed our fucking rent. Like the lady sitting at that desk down there changed the damn rent. She don't know. She don't have a fucking clue why they changed this rent. All she do is answer calls and check emails. Leave her alone. It's just crazy how all these corporations, these businesses, these brands, if they just want a little bit more money than they had last year, it's nothing for them to go up on their shit without blinking. It's nothing for them to make your favorite shoe $5 more. Make all your favorite groceries $1 or $2 more. Make your rent $100 more. They didn't make enough money last year. They got to go up. And since the businesses went up, the companies went up, now the entrepreneurs have to go up. So now your nail tech adding $15, your barber adding $15, your hairdresser adding $15. They got to keep up too, right? So you trying to keep up with all the changes, and meanwhile you got a 25-cent raise. And Dollar Tree took that from you. That's why I don't understand people that get mad at other people that learned how to finesse the government or get over on the system. It's like the system is getting over on you. The government is fucking you. How are you getting mad at somebody that figured it out? Don't get mad that they found a way to get some extra food stamps or not have to pay as much in taxes. The system is fucking us all over. They just figured it out. Don't get mad at them. Because I swear to God, if you see me in the self-checkout line and all my groceries come out to the same price as grapes, mind your business. Mind your business. A side hustle used to be an option. Getting a side hustle used to be something that people did to make extra money, extra spending money, to go, you know what I'm saying, just have a little pocket change to go do something with, have some fun with. Now that shit is mandatory. What are you doing on the side to stay afloat? What is your second job? What is your second and third source of income to barely just make it by? What is it? You gotta have one. Anyway, yeah.
America is slow. America is very, very, very slow. And that's so embarrassing, you know, being an American and all. Why is America just now catching on to the fact that no one can afford rent? In case you haven't heard, the Department of Justice has opened up an investigation as to why the rent is so high. And they have accelerated that investigation to the point where we now know that it was a scam the whole time. Turns out that corporate America, and we kind of knew that, didn't we? Along with a software company, basically rigged the numbers and robbed Americans in the form of high rents, creating rent inflation. Now, I don't know what this is going to mean for those of you who rent. I hope that this is good news. But it should have been old news, because they should have been looking into this. And let's not make no mistake about it. The only reason why they're caring is because white people can't afford their rent now. Because black and brown been in this fix. And nobody cared. And make no mistake about it. With DEI being under attack and affirmative action being taken away, it's only going to make things that much worse for us. Just goes to show, when you create social safety nets for the most marginalized people, those down at the bottom, everyone else wins. It wasn't just the corporations. We know how this happened. It was the crooked politicians who gave the corporations the power to do it. I hope that those that get caught up in this whole thing get everything that they got coming. Because there were people who were literally choosing food over a roof. People moved into their cars and became displaced because rent was so high. Americans not being able to afford a roof over their head changed lives. This impacted Americans in a way that changed the entire trajectory of their lives, children included. Because of this scam that they played on American citizens, Americans couldn't afford food, doctor's visits, co-pays, medication, daycare, college tuition, but more importantly, somewhere to call home. I hope heads roll. I hope people get sued. I hope people lose jobs. I hope people go to jail behind this. But more importantly than all that, I hope that rent will become affordable for everyone else again.
So I see a lot of people get excited about the, FBI doing some search on the landlords, and it's like, oh really, like they really want to go and be making some search now and find out, like, oh, let's just go and we need to go and investigate and find out what is wrong with these landlords. Have they been scamming people? Have they been cheating people? And it's like, it's something that has been going on for years. Like, everybody has been screaming on top of their lungs and saying this, but why is it that it's just when it's close to election that is when, oh, they want to make investigation and act like, I don't know. But it's just weird, because a lot of people have, allegedly, they've been saying this, like most of the time they believe that these corporations who actually run these businesses rack up prices and already have a deal with the government, or just do what they call lobbying, which is aka bribery, and do whatever they feel like doing, racking up prices, being greedy, while the people are actually suffering. So that's just what it is. To me, I don't feel like this whole thing is something they've been so unconscious about. Like, they didn't know that, rent was so high for people. Like, come on now.
People be like, oh, you're homeless. You supposed to be doing this, you supposed to be doing that. Bitch, shut the fuck up, because you're 1 second away from being in my position. Like, especially in New York City. With everything going on right now, just because I'm homeless doesn't mean I'm not working. The fuck? We all know that minimum wage and even 20 plus is not covering the fucking rent that they have in New York City for a 1-bedroom. That shit is like $2,800. You calculate that, plus the tax deduction. I'll be saying this shit. Trust me, I'm gonna get rich. I know I'm gonna get rich. Don't worry about me. I got a plan. Worry about you. Cause y'all saying this shit, but it's gonna be you. And then on top of that, y'all be trying to use it as an insult, bro. I put myself on blast. Like, you can't insult me, because I look better than a lot of y'all, and I'm homeless. I need that explanation. You asking me how I'm homeless, bitch. How are you home full and you look homeless?
One thing that I could never wrap my head around is the audacity of apartment complexes. Still to this day, in this economy, telling you that you need to make
2.5 to 3 times the rent per month to live there. Don't you know your rent is $2,000? On the low end, maybe $1,750. Now, I'm not the smartest man in the world, but I'm pretty sure $1,750 times 3 is something in the ballpark of about $5,000. You know what? We have technology. Why don't we ask Google? What is $1,750 times 3?
1,750 times 3 is 5,250.
You really expect me to pull up on you with over 5 racks a month? Before or after taxes, doesn't even matter. You want me to make that kind of money? When your apartment complex is not too far from motherfuckers who like to break in cars for fun? Huh? Like to see what you got in your apartment when you're not there? What? Huh? You mean those same apartments that haven't been renovated since 2009? You just put a fresh coat of paint over the shit? You mean the apartment complexes where I gotta put a work order in and hope you motherfuckers come in a timely fashion, and I mean at least 2 days. Some motherfuckers don't get to you until a week later. You mean to tell me the same apartment complexes where the front office get hired and fired every 3 to 4 months, and the person who came in after the last motherfucker got fired gives a fuck less because they don't even know you like that? They weren't even the ones that signed you up. Those places? So you want me to pull up on you with about $5,000 to $6,000 for that? Ooh, I'm about to say something. Got a mother gotta decide whether or not he gonna sleep in his car or get another apartment. Hey, y'all better change this shit or we gonna riot.
The government is now planning on banning having roommates to help pay for rent in some cities.
The United States is currently undergoing a serious housing crisis. There's a crisis with affordability, there is a crisis with availability, and how is Kansas reacting to it? Well, the city of Shawnee has decided, let's ban roommates, which is one of the only ways people can afford to put a roof over their heads with exploding rents.
The city of Shawnee in Kansas has decided to pass a bill that prohibits having 2 unrelated people living together in a home, excluding spouses that are married. The government claims that this is to help crack down on arrangements where co-living has turned into a commercial enterprise. This decision from the government to ban having roommates has garnered controversy from commenters online. Commenters claim that this is unconstitutional and that the government is coming for anyone who isn't like them. But do you think the government should be allowed to do this? Comment your opinion down below.
Finally, the Department of Justice is now investigating the rent prices. And for you landlords, your days of price gouging are over. Now, shout out to Uprise, Rhode Island, because they published a story about how the FBI had raided an office in Atlanta called Cortland Management because of price fixing for rent. Now, the Department of Justice had launched this investigation and then issued out a limited subpoena in order to grab some information about how this property management company by the name of Cortland Management had been fixing the rent prices since 2016. Now, the story actually entails this software called RealPage, and it's a software that is sold to landlords who own like large properties in order to tell them how to determine rent rates. And that's normally fine, except RealPages covers about 60 to 80% of all rental properties across the United States. Now, according to Uprise, the scheme allegedly works by encouraging landlords to adopt the software RealPages pricing recommendations, which most landlords do about 80 or 90% of the time. This coordinated effort amongst landlords to follow the software's suggested drive up rental prices by reducing the availability of units. The goal is to prevent landlords from undervaluing their properties, thereby ensuring higher rents nationwide. So let me break the scheme down to you. So say a landlord has 100 units and the price is fixed at $1,200 a month per unit. Let's just say they're all 2-bedroom units. Now, the landlord goes and gets that RealPages software and it says increase the rent to $1,500 and then make only 20 of those units available, even though the landlord would still have 80 more units to rent. So now me, the consumer, is going to the landlord's property management website and I'm seeing these apartments that are nice, but they're not available. So then I rent, but but 19 other people rent. Now, the landlord is making $1,500 a unit for only the 20 units he had available. And then he can slowly start opening up more units at that fixed rate. And now, let's say another landlord who owned a property next to my landlord. He sees those rates and then he does the same. There you have an inflation of rent vis-a-vis a domino effect. Now, the reason why the Department of Justice was so interested in this Real Pages software is because that although rent prices were surging in 2016, they were noticing that there was an increased vacancy rate. So they were noticing that there were a lot more available apartments for what landlords were charging, which doesn't make any sense because if you have more vacancies, i.e., the rent should be coming down. So why was the rent increasing about 80% since 2016? Because of Real Pages. Now, the investigation started off as a civil probe, and now it's starting to look criminal. Remember, Real Pages is the largest rental suggestion software in the nation.
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this humbly in hopes that I inspire someone on this Tuesday morning. My biggest flex in life right now is that, baby, I work a corporate job, but I live in a $900 apartment in the city.
How on earth is trying to get rid of people having the ability to have roommates supposed to help? Because I just don't get it. Like, sometimes when the people in office just make up some laws, or they're just, talking about some things that they feel like doing, like, oh, we're about to change this law, we don't think that people should have roommates, that's where we can help. When people are having roommates as a way to help with how expensive the prices is, the main priority should be the people, not just trying to do everything for the corporations. The painful part of this apartment actually raising of the prices of rent is actually the fact that these apartments that maybe when you go to resign your lease and you see that the money has increased, I don't think they are worth what they say they are. Like, they will tell you, hey, let us pay this price, pay this amount, $2,000. It is not even worth that, to be honest. Like, when you look at those apartments, they are so basic that they probably should just cost about 800, 1,000 max. But at the end of the day, they have that freedom to just say whatever they feel like saying, because a lot of people are still going to sign that lease. And if you say, okay, you're not going to sign the lease, where are you going to be?
I am nearly 27 years old, and today I am moving back in with my parents. This is not the plan I had for 27-year-old me, but that is just how bad the rental crisis is at the moment. I've been living on my own for the last 3 years. When I first started living on my own, I was paying $280 a week in rent. It was actually kind of fine to pay rent on my own, and I've never had like an outstanding salary. The reason why I'm moving back in with my parents is because my landlord wanted to increase my rent now to $450 a week. Now, I live in a small one-bedroom apartment in an old building. It's nothing flash. Sure, I live in a good suburb. I live in Malvern. I'm probably just paying for location, but I have to pay to do my laundry. There's cracks in the walls. Like, it's nothing flashy. Like, it's not worth $450 a week. That's like $2,000 a month. What are people supposed to do? I'm so lucky and I'm so grateful that I can move back in with my parents, but not everyone can do that. So what's your alternative? Like, you're homeless? The thing that really grinds my gears is that I am 99% sure that my landlord does not have a mortgage on this place, so that can't even be an excuse for landlords on here. She's owned this place since about 1980, and I know for a fact she has 2 investment properties. So she's just making money off what she can from the market. And I was like, there is no way I can afford this. And I have been an outstanding tenant, like outstanding. Rent's never been late. My inspections are always absolutely spotless. I've never caused any issues. And this is why my generation can't get ahead, why we can't buy houses. Like, I've been paying $20,000 a year in rent. But if I went to go get a house loan, they wouldn't see that as, oh, she can pay $20,000 a year. No, I have no savings because of how much I've been paying in rent and bills. That's why my parents were like, move home, save that money and try and get ahead. I'm so grateful. I love my family, and I don't have any issues moving back home with them. I do have an issue with the fact that they live over the other side of Geelong, and I'm still going to be traveling to Melbourne for work. So that's going to be so much fun. But what do people do? I'm so lucky I have such a great family that I can move back in with. But what's the alternative? Homelessness? Like, the government really needs to get on top of this, because honestly, the state of the rental market at the moment is absolutely fucked.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
Nicholas? Hey, Nick.
Hello?
Hey, Nicholas. How are you doing?
How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Awesome. Do you plan on having rent this week?
Paying rent this week?
Yes.
When is it due?
Rent is due on the 1st.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't plan on it, honestly.
Okay, so are you out of the apartment? Like, what do you mean?
Hold on 1 second. I gotta take this call. I'm gonna give you a call back.
Okay. Hey, Nick.
Hello?
Hey.
What's up?
Hey, so yeah, I was just calling you. So you said you don't plan on having rent?
No, I can't afford it right now.
Okay, so when are you gonna move out?
Yeah, I've already moved. I've already moved out. See, the thing is, I was subleasing the apartment, so I've already moved out.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, so no one's in there, so I can go.
Yeah, no one's in there at all. There's still a few things in there, but yeah.
Okay, well, sounds good. So when I do your final account statement, you'll get a bill for the lease break fee.
Well, the person who I was subleasing from, they'll get it.
Okay, well, they'll get it. Somebody will get it. But okay, thank you.
My apartment in Arlington, Virginia had the audacity to tell me that if I renewed this lease for 3 months, it would be $10,300 a month. If you don't believe me, here's proof. $10,300 for a 3-month lease to live in Arlington, Virginia. So let me show you around. Tell me if you think it's worth it. Okay, let's start from the beginning. First bathroom. This is the cat's bathroom. I don't use this one. The den, which is a movie room. Oh, there's one of the cats. You walk into the kitchen. Bedroom. I just sold a bunch of stuff. Bathroom. Closet. It's really not big. This closet is like only enough for one person. Living room. It gets a good amount of sunlight at this hour, but if it's not this hour, it's pretty dark. Here it is from this view. I just did all of that today. It's a pretty big balcony. And my egg chair. And this is the view. Also, it's not very peaceful because you have to listen to that AC all night and all day. Like on the balcony, but yeah. Do you think that's worth $10,300 a month to live in Arlington, Virginia? I don't.
My $1,200 Miami apartment is now $1,950. That's $1,950. $2,000. I'm going to show you guys the apartment in the next clip. It is Prestige Vista. It's off of Northeast 5th Avenue and Northeast 137th Street. The main road is Northeast 6th Avenue. If you're in North Miami, you know Northeast 6th Avenue. And it's owned and managed by Global Prestige Estates. They own mad buildings on Northeast 6th Avenue in North Miami. Yeah, they own a lot of buildings there. They're just single buildings. They're not complexes. And they really do suck. If you want to look up the neighborhood or whatever, it's gpestates.com. Okay, now I'm going to show y'all the apartment. And just look at the door, y'all. Look at the freaking door. Okay? Broke. No washer dryer. Not even a rack to hang anything up in the hallway closet. Black refrigerator, but a stainless steel stove. Okay? Lots of cabinet space. No cabinet space. But okay. Storage is there. Living room was big, a lot bigger in person. Had a sectional kitchen table. Living room, cannot complain.
And this is the video, like my move out video. That's why it's a voiceover, okay? Balcony, looking in other people's yard. Fine, I'm cool with that. I'm nosy. Bathroom, which y'all are about to see, small, okay? Very small. Does have a nice walk-in closet, which y'all will see, and another hallway closet, like a linen closet. In the bedroom was huge in person. Like, I had a full L-shaped desk and my bed, TV. The room was very good sized. And just a reminder again, there's no amenities. The only thing that you get is water, trash, and internet. There's no pool, there's no gym, there's no on-site leasing office. Okay, I have to drive to take my keys back. The only thing that you get, maybe I said it in the last video, I'm not sure. The only thing that you get with this apartment complex is a built-in alarm clock because the roosters run the freaking neighborhood. I have a video of a rooster. I'm on the 3rd floor, mind you. Rooster walking through the hallway, cock-a-doodle doing. He be in the hallway at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, all freaking day. These roosters. You get a built-in alarm clock, and you get a swimming pool when it rains. I have another video, 2 hours. It was only raining for 2 hours. And the parking, so there's covered parking and uncovered parking. The covered parking floods so bad that it defeats the purpose of covered parking. When it rains, you can't even park under there because your car will freaking flood. But yeah, y'all, I had to get the ASAP.
Notice how things just change from how they used to be. When you go on Zillow or all these places where you go and rent, you used to notice that when they tell you the price, you see a price of the amount an apartment costs per month, and it will just be, okay, for instance, an example, let's say this apartment is $1,000 a month, and that's just it. Then possibly, yeah, you're gonna pay your water bill, electricity bill, and the rest. Then you pay your deposits, you pay for whatever fee you need to pay. But then slowly, after a few years, I then noticed that they started putting plus. I don't know if you guys have noticed the craziness of putting plus. So now if you go to an apartment on maybe all those apps that you're checking for places to rent, you see maybe 2,000 plus, and it's like, why is it plus? Then when you get down to it, they'll start charging you with multiple fees, talking about let's go and check your credit and stuff like that. And I also feel like, why the hell do you need to go and be checking somebody's credit score, how much they loan or borrow money, to know if they are capable of renting a place? Like, it's just crazy. It's just a crazy system that I actually find in the US, which is something that does not happen elsewhere in other places. And to me, if I'm doing a business, it's more about, you're gonna pay me or not. Like, I just want you to pay me. That's just all that I care about. I don't care about what you have going on, like your history or whatever. If you don't pay me, then get out of my apartment or place. That's just it. So the apartment that I've stayed in, the experience that I've had, like with this craziness where corporations got greedy, is the fact that they will tell you that this is the price of an apartment, like $1,000. Then when it gets to the end of the month, you will suddenly see that, oh, they'll be like, oh, it's water bill and whatever, plus, and before you know it, you're paying 1,300. Before you know it, another month you're paying 1,400. Before you know it, you're paying 1,100. It's just like dancing and dwindling, and it's like, how on earth are you supposed to be making a budget where your own apartment rent, the rent you're paying monthly, cannot be stable? And I don't know if other people are experiencing this, but that's just the experience that I've had. And I'm like, I don't understand. Because when I was signing the lease, that was not what we bargained. How did this happen? So I just feel like it's not supposed to, like, they shouldn't have the chance to be doing this. But anyways, guys, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching this video to the end. I really appreciate you guys so much. And make sure you click the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and hit the notification bell to get notified every time I post a new video. Clicking the like button really helps with the algorithm, and I appreciate that so much. I would really love to see your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about this video. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.